In any democracy, the legal system is supposed to be the cornerstone of fairness and impartiality. However, in the United States, the intersection of politics and justice creates a complex dynamic that raises serious questions about the integrity of the judicial process. While the legal system is designed to be neutral, the reality is that elections have a significant impact on how cases are decided, who gets to make the decisions, and what factors influence their judgments. As elections approach, political ideologies, media campaigns, and public opinion all begin to shape not just who is elected to serve in the judicial system, but also how they will rule once in office. Judicial appointments, especially at the state level, are heavily influenced by the political climate. In many states, judges are elected by the public, which means that their decisions are not only shaped by the law but by the political preferences of the voters who put them in office. This dynamic creates a situation where judges may feel compelled to align their rulings with the views of their constituents, even when those views may conflict with impartiality or legal precedent. The influence of politics on judicial decisions creates an environment where fairness can become secondary to political survival. This influence doesn't stop with judicial appointments. It extends to the selection of jurors who play a pivotal role in determining the outcome of many cases. Jurors are expected to be impartial, but political factors, especially during election years, can subtly affect who gets selected to serve. Various studies have shown that demographic factors such as age, race, and political affiliation can determine whether someone is called for jury duty, and this can influence the decisions made in the courtroom. Political biases, whether conscious or subconscious, can affect how jurors perceive evidence and ultimately how they reach their verdicts. In the case of high-profile trials, the stakes are even higher. The selection of juries during election seasons becomes a political game in itself. Political campaigns often target specific groups who are more likely to align with their views, and this influence trickles down into the courtroom. If a jury is composed mainly of individuals who hold strong political beliefs, their decisions can be swayed by those beliefs rather than by the facts of the case. This creates a dangerous scenario where the outcome of a trial can be determined by political leanings instead of justice. Perhaps one of the most high-stakes intersections of politics and the judiciary occurs with the confirmation of Supreme Court justices. The decisions made by the Supreme Court have the power to shape the country's laws for generations, and when vacancies occur, the nomination process becomes highly politicized. The president nominates a candidate, and the Senate confirms or rejects the appointment. The outcome is often determined by political affiliations, with each side attempting to ensure that a judge with views sympathetic to their party is placed on the bench. In election years, the confirmation process becomes even more politically charged, with senators on both sides of the aisle vying for public approval. This politicization of judicial appointments is particularly concerning because of the lasting impact these judges can have on the legal landscape. A Supreme Court justice serves for life, meaning their decisions can affect the legal system long after their appointment. The pressure of political campaigns can alter the impartiality of the confirmation process, creating a judiciary that reflects political biases rather than legal expertise. This shift in how judges are selected and confirmed compromises the neutrality of the judicial system and undermines public trust in the courts. As these political forces continue to shape the judicial system, it becomes increasingly important to question whether the legal system is truly impartial, or if it is simply a reflection of the political environment at any given time. The growing influence of elections in shaping who gets to serve in the judicial system raises serious concerns about whether justice is being served in the most fair and unbiased way possible. When judges and jurors are influenced by political pressures, the outcomes of cases may no longer reflect the rule of law, but rather the political realities of the moment. This connection between politics and the judicial system also reveals a larger issue with the public's perception of justice. When the judiciary is perceived as being politically influenced, it erodes trust in the legal system. People begin to question whether decisions are made based on law or political affiliation. This skepticism can have profound consequences, as it diminishes confidence in the ability of the courts to fairly adjudicate cases. The notion that justice is blind is put into question, as the legal system becomes increasingly subject to the whims of political ideology. Ultimately, the future of justice in the United States will depend on the ability of the judicial system to remain independent of political pressures. While it is unrealistic to completely separate politics from the judiciary, efforts must be made to ensure that the integrity of the legal process is not compromised by political agendas. Whether through reforms in how judges are selected, how juries are composed, or how public opinion is managed, it is crucial to protect the independence of the courts. The legal system must be able to function without the interference of political forces if it is to continue serving as the foundation of justice in the country. As elections and politics continue to influence the judicial process, the challenge will be to maintain a system where the law, rather than political allegiance, determines the outcome of cases. The pressure on judges and jurors to make decisions based on public opinion or party loyalty must be resisted if true justice is to be served. The integrity of the judicial system and the public's faith in it depends on the ability of the courts to act independently, without succumbing to the pressures of the political world. Without this, the very idea of justice in America could become nothing more than a political tool, rather than an impartial and fair process.